Greenbush investigators are back at a home right now where human remains were discovered by a contractor yesterday. Police are looking into the possibility they could be linked to a 1938 disappearance. Investigators now trying to identify those remains, and Pat Bailey joins us live on the scene. Pat, what are you learning today?
Well, Jerry, authorities were back out here at this home on Michael Road again this morning, sifting through remnants of a crawl space inside of the home where these bones were found. Now, authorities say that this investigation is very difficult for two reasons. Number one, they have to identify who the bones belong to. And then number two, try to figure out what might have happened to that person. Police do know at this hour, at this day, that the bones do, in fact, belong to a human and that they are decades old. Beyond that, they say they are not clear as to what happened. They were found here yesterday on Michael Road in East Greenbush, inside of a home by a contractor doing work inside of the crawl space. Now, since then, police, have we said, have been sifting through the remnants of that crawl space, trying to come up to find out if there are more bones that are inside of the crawl space. Authorities say once they are done with that, then it's on to a very big task, and that is trying to put together a very big, a very difficult puzzle.
What do you get out of something like this in this type of case?
We're just trying to connect the dots right now. We don't know if we have a victim. We don't know if we have a suspect. We literally do not know.
And how tough is it to connect the dots once you do find out, since it's so old?
It's difficult. You're talking 75 years, if that's even who we're talking about. At this point, we're going to have to do some research and see what we can come up with.
Now, in that soundbite there, you heard the investigators say if that's who we're even talking about. So what does that mean? Well, there are a lot of reports surfacing around that this home back in the day, back in the 1930s, was owned by a gentleman and his wife. And at one point, he put his wife's name on the title of this home. Well, that wife at one point went missing. And then somebody back in the 1960s wrote a book report about this home, and at one point said that the home that was owned by the gentleman, the wife went missing at the time, and then the FBI possibly at one point was snooping around here trying to figure out what could have happened to the missing woman here. And that gentleman, who back in the day owned the house, since left the United States and went back to Germany. And again, that book report was written by somebody back in the 1960s. It's actually on display over at the East Greenbush Town Hall, and which is actually attached to the police station, coincidentally. Now, the very difficult thing authorities say is that record keeping. 75 years ago, if we are talking about the same woman missing from 1938, they said record keeping back then was very limited, so that will make this investigation also very difficult. For now, reporting live in East Greenbush, Pat Bailey, CBS 6 News.